Hello there guys, human powered car, how about that? No engine in here, just me. Welcome back to the channel guys, and welcome back to another video on the little blue ZX. Let me just pop the bonnet up and we'll have a little chat about what's happened here. So, as you can probably tell, with me sitting in the engine bay and making a little bit of an idiot of myself by doing so, we have no engine. I have removed the engine and I have recorded it for you guys. We're going to go through that today. That's going to be our video for today, and I'll show you how to remove the engine, and you can follow me through that now. So before we go through that though, I will just take you off the tripod and I'll show you in the engine bay. As you can see, the engine and gearbox is completely gone. I've propped the fans up there for now. I am going to put a bungee on there because they are a little bit wobbly, but I don't want them on the floor to get ruined. I've got a bungee here which is holding the power steering pump assembly there, because I've left all the power steering lines and the steering rack still attached at the moment. But overall, this engine bay for a 25-year-old car is pretty clean, to be fair. So I'm quite impressed. So we will take you through the removal process of the engine now. So where do we start guys? Well, I've got the engine hoist, that's got to be set up. I've got the engine leveler there as well, so to make sure it comes out at the angle we need it to. My tools are there as well, and my tripod. We've also got, I will like to inform you guys that I have done some work off camera, because it's just mainly bits that you wouldn't have been able to see anyway. I've got that all disconnected from the heater matrix core, because it does go, that pipe goes to the engine, that pipe goes to the engine, but it's awkward to get to, so I've just decided to pull it off from there, and that'll come out with the engine attached, still attached to the engine. I've pulled off this fuel line from this banjo bolt here. I've pulled off the fuel bleed bubble with the other end of the fuel line, which went onto the bottom of the fuel filter. Breather hose that goes to the back of the brake servo. As you guys know, we've pulled all the electrics out already, and we've done like the throttle cable as well. So we've got all the hoses off, we've got all the front end off. What I was on about when I say I've done some bits that you wouldn't be able to see anyway is either down here, all the gear linkage, oh, trust me to put the torch in the way, all the gear linkages are now disconnected, absolutely completely free. I've taken the top, all the exhaust manifold off, as you can see there, and today's video I'm going to attempt to pull this out for you today guys, because it's now ready. Literally just the engine mount on that side, the engine mount on that side, and then we should be able to lift it out. So I'm tempted to put it out live time rather than time lapse, so hopefully that won't take too long, and I'll get you set up on the tripod, and I'll get the engine hoist all set up on the top ready to go as well. So hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing there, but we need a ratchet with 17mm socket. We will also need 13mm socket, and if I don't throw it away, an 18mm socket. So we'll take the 17 off for now and pop that this side. We will take the 18mm socket and just literally go in the centre part of this engine mount. So that now, so that's now that nut off, washer off, and then we'll use the 13mm socket to undo what I've already undone, which is the two side ones, and then in return you'll be able to get the engine mount off like that on this side. Little sleeve, that all comes off. Gearbox is now completely disconnected, being supported by the weight of this. And then what we'll do is we'll then take the 18mm socket, sorry no we won't, we'll take the 17mm socket, on this side. Move that pipe out the way. And you'll see that I've just loosened that there. The weight of the engine is now purely on the engine stand. Get that out of the way. Put this up out the way as well. I need to move these pipes out the way first. That goes right up there like so. And I'm also going to take this power steering unit off from where I've strapped it up. And then just let that rest down there for now. So that's completely out of the way. Right, so let's do that up. What way do we need to go? We do need to go that way. Sorry, I'm not used to using this bit of kit. Right. Yeah, I was clearly turning it the wrong way, so bear with me a second, guys. Wow. So I thought I'd wind this across a bit more and then bring it back in. That has now dropped on the gearbox side, so we should now be able to lift that up a little bit more and hopefully spin this out. Ouch. As you guys can see, that's completely free now. What I'll do is I'll get it on the deck and then I'll bring you in for split the engine and gearbox. So as I said, I'll bring you in when it's on the deck. That's the engine bay. Now without the engine. One thing I will say, at some point, I've no idea when, but if you look, I'll show you. Something tells me that might be a metal bed bolt. No idea why someone would put that in there, but oh well. Like I said, the engine's on the deck. I apologise for the lighting in the last clip where there's loads of shadow in because of the sun. Now this is where the exhaust side would go. This is what I was on about with the heater matrix hose. It does go down on here to the engine. It also goes back here to the engine, but it was easier just to undo one rather than 3 pipes. So I'll take that off later on. This is why I had to angle the gearbox and the engine out, because this goes up into its mount, whereas on the other side, on the timing belt side, that rests down onto the mount. So that's why we had to have it at an angle like that rather than straight. So what I'll do now is I will get a good place, if I can, for you to sit, probably around here somewhere, and I'll get this gearbox out now, disconnected now, sorry. So guys, to get this undone, there is a 17mm bolt just round the side here. There's another one up the top here, another one up here, and there was one underneath, but I undone that before lifting the engine out. Just obviously it's a bit awkward to get there now, so that's why I undone that one beforehand. So there would have been 4, there's now 3. We'll just get these out with a 17mm socket. Also, these have all been pre-loosened as well, so I can just wick these out as quick as possible for the purpose of not wasting too much of your time. That one's out, that one's on its way out. Nearly there, guys. That's what the bolts look like. And like I said, there's 4, but I can't get to the one underneath if I tried, so I've done that before lifting it out. So those 3 out. Now, just like so, we have one gearbox removed. So I'm going to remove the clutch and the flywheel now, just to make it that little bit easier to put on the engine stand when we get it round to the shed. I just thought I'd show you guys, actually, even though this car's 25 years old, I have no idea whether this gearbox has been refurbished in its life or whether it is genuinely 25 years old and never touched. But the centre spline, there's no slop in it whatsoever. It rotates nicely, it feels like all the bearings are lovely, and I never had a problem with the gearbox anyway. It went into gear every time, so I wasn't a problem with that. But I'm just thinking, I was expecting there to be, with 110,000 miles, there to be a bit of play on there, but nothing. I am glad I'm doing this though, because the throw out bearing, let me just see if I can get that off, the thrust bearing for the clutch is wobbling like crazy, so that's a bit, it's not knackered, but it's a bit past its best. So we'll see what the condition of the clutch is in. Like I said, I will get the clutch and the flywheel removed now, and we'll see what that's like. So removing the clutch, guys, what you need is the ratchet, the attachment as well, and a T40 Torx head. There is 2 bolts there which I've already removed. There is 2 bolts this side which are already removed. 2 at the top as well, so there's 6 in total. They all do this T40 Torx, and as you can see, I've loosened these ones as well. But you would just crack them loose and undo them. And yes, there is a tightening procedure for tightening the clutch up, but I believe, but when it comes to undoing things, I never worry about tightening procedures. Now we just need to grab a screwdriver and give that a pop. Why can I never find a screwdriver when I need one? The reason I say that is because I had a screwdriver to hand which was able, but it's just vanished. Anyway, I've got another one now. Give that a pop. There. There. And there. Come on. Yep. So let's have a look. Well, the condition of the clutch ain't too bad, actually. The backing plate there, I can't remember what that's called, my brain's gone. Yeah. The flywheel looks alright. It ain't got many miles left on it, but it's certainly not due for a change just yet. LUK clutch, so that's possibly been changed at some point. I've no idea. Is there a date on it? Sometimes these have a date on them. I've no idea. If I find a date, guys, I'll let you know. But for now, we're going to crack on with the flywheel removal. That, I believe, is 17mm, but we'll get them loosened off and I'll bring you back in again. Actually, just a little bit more on the clutch. I don't know if you guys can spot it or not, but there's something a little bit weird. I haven't been able to find a date, but right, I'll tell you guys. All these springs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one seems a little bit thinner than these 4, but not by much. This one seems ridiculously thin. Obviously I can't expect someone to have popped one of these strong springs out and then put one of them weak things in there. So it's obviously been made like that. But I just don't, I've not seen one like that before. 4 decent sized springs, one that looks a little bit thinner and then one that looks a bit pathetic, to be fair, compared to the other 4. But I don't know, maybe if anyone knows why that is, maybe they could let me know, but I just think it's a bit weird personally. So yeah, we'll get these, like I said, we'll get these flywheel bolts loosened and I'll bring you back. So as you guys can see now, I have whipped all 8 of these 17mm bolts out. I did cheat, however I used my mains powered impact gun because they wouldn't have necessarily come out easily otherwise. This is starting to get a bit tired, so I am going to have to invest at some point in a new impact gun. I've been looking at the battery ones, but if anyone knows of any good ones or anything, give us a shout and I'll see if I can think. Also, I don't know if you can see, this would normally be a bit concerning, but considering I'm doing a full engine rebuild anyway, this bottom bolt that's come out has now started allowing oil to leak out. So what that means is the seal on that crankshaft is obviously bust, and that's partly the reason why I'm guessing why there's loads of oil on my engine. But we'll get this off and come on, you play nice. Get that off, and yep, as we can see, it's very oily around here, and it's clearly leaking oil from that seal because of the oil around here and possibly around the gasket material on the sump as well. But like I said, it's all going to get a complete engine rebuild on here anyway, so I'm not too fussed. So what we'll do now, we'll end this here, and the next thing you'll see is this on the this engine on the engine stand in my workshop shed. So I've got to get that round into the back garden, into my shed, and we'll get it on the stand and I'll bring you guys back then. So this video will be now getting ended in my shed. As you can see, the little blue ZX's engine is on its stand, ready for the work to be carried out. The gearbox is down there on the floor. I've got the engine stand put back away, the engine hoist put back away, sorry. I have still got the chains on, but I'll take them off later, I can't bother just yet. So just a little tour and we'll get cracking on this in the next video. Like I said, basically I'm going to end this video here. If you've got any comments or anything that you'd like to know a bit more about of what I get up to on this project, the Polo project, or any of my videos, or just anything in general basically, feel free to give us a comment. Like, subscribe and share, and if you ring the bell icon you'll get notifications of every time I'd upload a new video. But anyway, I'll say bye for now guys, see you in the next video.